Gears of War, aka the game where you chainsaw baddies in half, has been remade for the Xbox One. It's called Gears of War Ultimate Edition, but is it ultimate?
Welcome back to the army, soldier.
Shit.
The original game came out way back in 2006.
Yes, and in video game time, that's ancient history. Cover mechanics were a novelty, and everyone was getting excited about greyish-brown games, which was the style of the time. Give me 5 brown games for $1, they would say.
Yes, thank you, Barjo. Now, this remaster is the debut effort of a relatively new studio, the Coalition. They're essentially the Gears of War studio.
Things have changed.
Just like 343 Industries is now the Halo studio.
And this is a bit of a softball for them, isn't it, before launching Gears of War 4. Just start with the first game, make it prettier, and don't screw it up. Basically, don't do what the Master Chief Collection did.
Yeah, as with most remasters, this is all about the new graphics. And they've actually given it quite a substantial facelift, to the point that I thought it sits very easily in this generation. It doesn't have one of those old graphics, new graphics switches that the Halo remasters did, which isn't a big deal, but it does make it harder to see the specific differences.
Yeah, I remember when Gears of War came out, it just blew us away. It was one of the best looking games around, and for quite a while. It's essentially a showcase for the Unreal 3 engine. I don't think it retakes the title of Belle of the Ball, but it's definitely easy on the eyes.
No, I don't actually.
And they actually have added a fair bit more colour to the game to break up all that brown.
Oh, yeah.
We better go.
What about the other prisoners?
They've also redone cutscenes to make them more cinematic.
Hoffman pardoned everybody.
Is that right?
And there are 5 extra missions that were previously exclusive to the PC version. But outside of that, this is still the exact same game that I remember.
So I guess the big question is, how has this gameplay aged?
Well, it mostly feels like a modern third-person shooter to me. I mean, some of the movement can feel a little clunky compared to what we're used to now. It can feel a bit like steering a shopping trolley at times. But I think the mechanics still hold up.
Yeah, that combat is pretty rock solid, and that cover system is just so intuitive. In fact, it's better than most cover systems we play now. Also, the game has this weighty meatiness to it, from the sounds to the actual meat.
Got one.
Yeah, it is a meaty game, isn't it? Anyway, I still love the way the enemy AI is so relentless and pushing up to you and trying to flank you. It makes every firefight really tense.
Yeah, and the way it encourages you to push back is great too. When those grub holes open up, you just want to get right up there and lob a grenade in as quickly as possible. Not to mention, getting up close and personal is the only way you get to break out the game's signature move. Still gross. The friendly AI can be a little thick at times though, and they seem to love running straight into danger, or will often just stand in your way.
Yeah, it's definitely better to play in co-op to get a little bit more human intelligence on your side. Plus, I still think it's one of the best co-op games out there.
Although I thought all those loading doors were a bit of a reminder of the game's age.
Ah, yes.
I'll open the door. I've got the code.
Loading doors are a hallmark of Unreal Engine 3 games, aren't they? And don't you just love those slow walking, talking on the radio bits?
I do not like them. I do not like them at all. They're not overly intrusive, but they drive me crazy. Just let me past. Especially the time he did it while grubs poured out of the ground and shot at
Be
me.
advised, the train is accelerating to avoid capture. The timetable just got a whole lot shorter.
Get off the radio, Marcus. Nobody cares about the story.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the story is pretty basic, isn't it? It's more of a small list of plot points played out by a one-dimensional cast of dude bros.
That is accurate. You get the Sonic what you call it, shoot it off in some caves, shoot a bomb into them, roll credits.
Yeah, bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit.
But it's still a great universe they've created. The whole Emergence Day backstory and the Locust threat is a unique spin on an alien Armageddon. It's an interesting world to be in.
Yeah, and there's some lovely European-style architecture to admire along the way, even if most of it is blown to pieces. How do you think the multiplayer holds up?
Oh heck, extra frames! The boost to 60 frames is great, it makes it all feel more responsive. And they've added in a few new modes, like the community-inspired 2v2 Nasher Execution, plus all the DLC and PC maps, so there's more variety than there used to be. Although if they did add a horde mode, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely a very intimate style of multiplayer, isn't it, with a maximum of 4v4. And everyone's always trying to get in close for those shotty kills or a chance to humiliate you. And, you know, I just think it has a very distinct style compared to a lot of shooters out there.
The best part is it all works. All the online matchmaking works. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. What are you going to give it overall, Hex?
I think it's a very faithful and well done remaster of a great game, so I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars.
I agree, and I'm also giving it 4 out of 5 stars.
I expect you to give me 110%, Phoenix.
I'm not doing this for you.